Manchester United are taking a risk with their new squad size. Welcome to the Manchester United Matters channel. How are you guys? And where are you watching us from? This is Rokan David, aka RD, onto this channel. Smash the like button, comment, and share. And if you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to our channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, today we are just jetting into the story of United's squad that is really very, very worrying in there. If any team has 25 squad players who are really up to date and you have no questions onto them, like a team like Man City, when you look at Man City, they really have a 25-man squad that is really great and very good, and any player that they have, provided he's brought into that squad, he can do the job, you know. But we look at the squad of Manchester United that we are left with. How many can really do the job when the first teamers are really out? That's what we are really going to talk about into this story in here. After the deadline, the transfer window ended. These are things you have to know about. One, the transfer window ended yesterday. Today is 1st October. We are heading into 2nd October. United has a couple of 7 games to play in 22 days. Put COVID into place. Put injuries into place. Put the misunderstandings into all the divisions, into the dressing room into place, and you're really going to know that United is really risking its season in here with Ralf Rangnick in there. Of course, it's not a calling of Ralf Rangnick, it's a calling of the board, because Ralf Rangnick would have brought in a central defensive midfielder, because if Rokan David, who is seated behind here in Uganda, doing this presentation, know that the team of Manchester United is really lacking what we call a central defensive midfielder in there to let us play with 2 attacking midfielders. How can Rangnick not be knowing that? Because if a layman who is just analyzing a fan, who has been a fan for Manchester United for the last 20 years, knows that Manchester United is really lacking a CDM, then why not Rangnick? Why not Rangnick? And you start to come out and put up stories that those exotic players, we cannot really spend in money, not until having a permanent manager. That means Manchester United intended it, they did it intentionally to bring in an interim. There are chances of United to bring in a manager who is a permanent manager, but they knew that if you bring in a permanent manager in January, it's going to call you for what we call signings, because that manager will tell you that, please, if I'm coming in January and I'm permanent, obvious case, you have to get me a check. And United can't do that. That's why they brought in Rangnick, because he was also desperate for the job. He comes in through, he does the needful, and guess what? He has been screwed by the management, because he really feels like he needed a CDM, and that was out clear in there. You saw very many flies on the walls of Manchester United, like Samuel Lucas of the Manchester United Evening News. He came out and told us that Rangnick needs a midfielder. We had news coming in from Fabrizio Romano that United were in talks with the agent of Zakaria in December. And then the talks really came to a dead end. It shows you that Rangnick had told them that, please, if you get me Zakaria, it's really going to be a very good season. That is Rangnick in there for you, and that's how he does his job. But as usual, when a manager makes a recommendation, our board first looks at its checkbook and they tell him, we don't have the money to buy such and such a player. And guess what? To make it worse, what the board does, they can go in and sign a player and they bring him for you. Why do they do that? Because they've not yet gotten a manager who is not desperate for the Manchester United job. Because when you look at David Moyes, he was desperate to get the job of Manchester United. 1. 2, the same applies to Van Gaal, who was desperate to get the Manchester United job. 3, Jose Mourinho even said, I'm not going to Man City. Remember, by that time, he never even had a job, and he said, I'm not going to Man City. That's what he said. And he said, I'm waiting for the United job. And you remember, when Ferguson was going to retire, Mourinho was so much warming up to come to Manchester United, and Ferguson said, no, Mourinho can't be a person to succeed me. He can't be my successor. That's what Ferguson said, and said, Moyes, come in. And they named Moyes the chosen one, and he really came out and bottled everything at Manchester United. He didn't complete the season, and he was sacked. You get? He was sacked without further ado at Manchester United. Van Gaal comes in very desperate. after putting Holland on the final of the World Cup. Was it? Yeah, I think 2014. No, they were taken out of the semi-final, because I remember the final of 2014, it was Germany up against which side? Germany played which side of the final? Argentina. Yeah, they played Lionel Messi in there. I remember that very well. So, but he really took his side to the World Cup semi-finals in there, and I think they played the losers game in there. That is a man who got Van Gaal, and he was desperate for the job of Manchester United. Yeah, he was desperate. I can come out and really tell you the truth that he was desperate. Jose Mourinho was desperate. Louis Van Gaal was desperate. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for him, he was even more desperate to get this job, because it was something that he got unexpectedly, because he had never seen himself as a manager who was going to coach Manchester United at any time. Because when you look, coaching Cardiff, Moldy in there, those teams in there, there is no way coaching such a teams can really get you a profile to come in and coach Manchester United. He was more than desperate. The same applies to Rangnick. He came out and said even before Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was sacked that, yeah, I would be interested into the Manchester United job, however much he had spent a lot of time without being onto the touchline, because he was really doing as a sports director at a team known as, is it Lokomotiv Moscow in Russia? You get? And no sooner had United knocked on their door than he really opened and said, all right, I can go to Manchester United. That is Ralf Rangnick there for you. So it shows you that United have all the managers United has been bringing in have been desperate. They are desperate. They are desperate to get this job. That's why you see them acting like that. You get the board treats them as they want. A manager comes out and tells the board, I really want such and such a player. He's not giving that player. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he wanted a CDM, and Ronaldo knocked on the door. And when Ronaldo knocked, they shortcut all the business that they were doing, and they said, let's bring in Ronaldo. You get? But the most important position of the pitch was not cared about, because look at a car. No car can run without an engine. So United is like a car without an engine. You get? It's like having a car and you don't have fuel. How can you really drive it? So I really feel like time has come. Time has come for United to change the way they do their things, because today Ed Woodward is no longer unemployed for Manchester United, but he's going to remain as a consultant onto the board. You get Richard Arnold comes in, but we don't know what Richard Arnold is going to do for Manchester United, because he's a mate to Ed Woodward. And the only positive that I can see in all this is that the introduction of Ralf Rangnick, is Richard Arnold going to be doing the business part, like sponsorship deals, getting in very many people in there, and we see what is really going to come in. I'm seeing Tony B saying Greenwood has been proven guilty. I just want, is it breaking news? Is it breaking news? I have not yet seen that. I've not yet seen that. But I'm going to be cross-checking as I really continue in here about Greenwood in here, because lots of news. What I know about Greenwood today is that Greenwood has been charged another offense. He has been charged another offense. That's what I know. Thank you, Tony B, for watching. Smash the like button, comment and share, and subscribe to our channel if you're only watching us for the very first time. But all I know today, Greenwood has been charged. Another case has been added onto his case. Is it sexual, what is it, rape? Something concerned to rape in there has been added onto his case. That's what I know. And the court and the police went to the court and they asked another 12 hours extension to have him in custody. And that means if Greenwood is to get out of custody, it's going to be tomorrow. That is Wednesday. That's when they're really going to get him out of the prison after the entire research is made. And just know that you are not guilty. You are not guilty. You are not guilty until proven. You get? So yeah, innocent. Greenwood innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, you are right. You are right, Tony B. You are right, Tony B. I had read your message badly, but thank God I've got my eyes back to it. You said Greenwood innocent until proven guilty. True. That's it. You're right. You're right. You're right. He's still innocent. He's still innocent. But another case has been added on the two he has been having. Now there are 3 cases, and now we wait and see what's going to come out tomorrow after the police has done its investigations. Whether they take him to court and the hearing starts in there, and then I don't know what is going to happen. But I'm worried about Greenwood because he is one of those talents that we've been seeing in there, referred to as a generational talent. He's really great. There is a friend of mine here in Uganda, goes by the names of Aldrin Subuga. They really came out and said that he supports Liverpool. Moreover, he said, oh my God, that's very bad that is happening to Greenwood. I really liked him. His left foot reminded me of Robin van Persie. And it's true. It's true that Greenwood really has a sweet left foot. He plays like Robin van Persie. He has all the attributes that Robin van Persie really had. But I really feel like Greenwood is more his foot. He has a foot that holds more skill, especially when taking off players in there. And his pace, I think, is better than that of Van Persie in there. But finishing wise in the box, control, ball control, running, everything, he really looks like Van Persie in there for you. Tony B has come out and said, I think he's innocent. Shall we start petition? No, in such a case, it's very hard to start up a petition because you don't really know what exactly is happening. And at this time around, even if you put up a petition, Greenwood won't be served if at all he is guilty. So we just have to wait and see what the police comes up with. All I know is that it's not going to be something that is going to go on running immediately, that Greenwood is going to be arrested, taken to court. I know they are really going to take some time because investigations will take some time. They have to be in court for some time. Unless otherwise, the police has really got conclusive evidence pinning Greenwood in there. That's the only way I'm seeing Greenwood being put behind bars immediately. That's what I really think. But all in all, let's wait and see what the law is really going to judge. But it's really sad. It's really sad because that story really attaches us to the story we are doing right about now, that Manchester United risks out their season because Greenwood was one of those players that they thought that they would come in through and do the needful. Because when you look at Manchester United, let me show you this lineup of Manchester United. Let me show you this lineup of Manchester United. When you look at that lineup of Manchester United, it really shows you that we are having players, we're having like 2 players into every position. And when you look where there is Sancho, there would have been a player who goes by the names of Mason Greenwood. Where there is Lingard, it would have been Greenwood and Lingard. So it would have been Sancho and Greenwood. So when you look at that position in there, there is Lingard. So this best explains to you why United collapsed the deal of Jesse Lingard to a side which goes by names of Newcastle, because they really felt like Greenwood is not going to come back anytime soon. So that's why they did that in there. So when you look at that squad in there, that is the 25-man squad that United has. It has Tom Heaton, that is the third choice goalkeeper, Jones and Hannibal Mejabri. You get? So in goal, David De Gea and Dean Henderson, Diego Dalot and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Those are the right backs that United are having. Varane and Lindelof are really a pair into the central defense. Harry Maguire, Eric Bailly, that's another pair. Shaw, Alex Telles, Scott McTominay and Matic, Fred and Pogba, Bruno Fernandes and Juan Mata, Elanga and Rashford, Ronaldo and Edson Cavani, Sancho and Lingard. That's the squad that United is left up with. So you can imagine what United is left up with. And that squad, you see, has to play 7 games in that squad has to play 7 games in 22 days with effect from Friday. Today is Wednesday. That means they're only left with Thursday, and on Friday we are playing Middlesbrough in there. So it shows you that United really has a very tight fixture in there. So if I told you how to play 7 days in 22 days, that means every 3 days you're going to be playing a game of football. Will that squad be good enough? So that's the big question I'm really leaving behind in there for you as we continue in here. But just know, one of the problems United is facing is that the board has not yet come out and really stipulated or laid out the type of football they want to play. Because the moment you don't have a style of play that you've really initiated at your club, that you want your club to play, there is no way you're really going to bring in a manager and really get that thing flowing in there. Look at teams like Bayern Munich. You get? Bayern Munich are the kings of that. That's what they do best. They don't mind about the manager. All they do is put up a structure, lay out a style of play in their Bayern Munich, and what they are left with is they bring in a manager. If he fails, he goes. And what's the benefit of really coming out and laying out your style of play? The big benefit is that you'll sign players that fit that style of play. Now, look at Manchester United. What's our style of play? It's different. David Moyes' style of play is totally different from that of Louis van Gaal. Louis van Gaal's is 100% different from that of Jose Mourinho. That of Jose Mourinho is 100% different from that of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is 100% different from Ralf Rangnick. And I really feel like the best thing Ralf Rangnick can ever do for Manchester United, when he really pulls up to the top, onto the sporting director or sports consultant at Manchester United, is to come up and give us a style of play, because that is badly needed. It's badly needed by Manchester United. That's the only thing that's going to solve Manchester United's problems, because when you look at the budget, sorry about that, when you look at the budget United has spent ever since Sir Alex Ferguson left, it's just £500 million, I think, less than that of Man City. But we've spent £1 billion ever since Alex Ferguson left. Now, just imagine if at all we had a board that had really laid out a structure of how this team is supposed to be moving. That means progress. That means every player that you're really going to come in and sign will be fitting into that system. Even if the manager gets sacked, that means the next manager who comes in, he is interested into that style of play, and there is no way he will really find it difficult from really buying in or using those players that you have, or he finds in there, because you know that he really suits that style of play. So that's the problem United is facing. The style of play is really a very huge problem at Manchester United, and it's a hinge. It's a very big hinge. It's a very big hinge when it comes to Manchester United, when they're really going to play such a game. Because I will feel like if we had a style of play, United would have gone for specific managers. But right now, they'll go in for a manager, yet they don't know what style of football is bringing at Manchester United. Does that manager suit the kind of players we have at Manchester United? That's the big question, because you are really reigning this club because of the decisions you make. That's what I've really come on and told you, that the best thing Rangnick should do at Manchester United is to give us a style of play. We need it badly. We need a style of play badly at Manchester United, such that we know that if at all we've brought in a Rangnick, you know that coaches like Mourinho, David Moyes will never come at Manchester United, because you would have already set up that. That's why you saw that a team like Man City, bringing in Pep Guardiola was easier, because when you look at the managers that we are really at Manchester United, we are really at Man City, Pellegrini, Mancini, their style of play at least is similar to that of Pep Guardiola. But you look at Manchester United, you bring in a player, you bring in a manager who goes to David Moyes, you sack him, bring in Van Gaal, they have totally different footballing philosophies. You get, after taking out Van Gaal, and then you add sort of an insult by bringing Mourinho, you get, because the system of Van Gaal is possession football, possession best. That of Mourinho is like score a goal anyhowly. He doesn't have a formula of play. You get, he just puts out players on the pitch and tells them, just do this, hit them on the break, use energy, chase them all over the park. You get, that's Jose Mourinho in there for you. So to me, I really feel like Manchester United should really first work on one thing: style of play. With this squad, even if you have 25 squad members, you can really come out and do the needful, because if you really have a style of play, even the players will be knowing that, all right, I play A, B, C, D. I play like, look at Liverpool and Man City. That's why they are dominating the previous 4 or 5 years, because Liverpool has a style of play. Any player at Liverpool knows, even if Jurgen Klopp just wakes up in the morning and tells him, please, you are playing the game tomorrow. Even if he was out of that game plan while training at the pitch, that player will come in and play very well, because they are used to that style. Even when Jurgen Klopp leaves, Liverpool would have already built a culture. They will know that, oh, if at all Klopp leaves, we need to bring in a manager who can adapt to our style of play, because it's already said in there. Smash the like button, comment and share, and if you're really watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to our channel so as not to miss the stories that we do upload in here on a daily. So as I sum up this video, I really feel like Ralph Rangnick and Manchester United have risked out their season. They've risked it out. It's total a risk, because I really feel like the Premier League, I'm 100% sure that we're really going to complete the top four positions. I'm 100% sure. Let us see at the end of the season, but I'm 100% sure that we are really going to compete, because it's really to finish in the top four positions, because I really feel like no team is a threat in there. Spurs, Arsenal, no. They are going to lose points. I know. They are going to lose points. When you look at those teams, United really has a better bench than those. You get? And when you look at Arsenal, their games are piling up, and Spurs, their games are piling up. And some people are really saying Spurs have brought in 2-3 players, but they've lost Del Ali, they've lost Ndombele. You get? They've lost Licheslo. You get? You lose 3 and bring in 3. It's like buying. It's like eating something and then pay for it. So it looks like you've done nothing, because your stomach is full and your pocket is empty. So that's it. So I think that's the situation with Tottenham Hotspur. I really feel like the squad we have can really come up and compete in the Premier League and really compete into the number 3 or number 4 in there, because the first and second spot are already taken to Liverpool and a team which goes by names of Man City. Now, my big question goes to the squad when it comes to Champions League, because I really feel like we really had a better chance to come in and compete in the Champions League this season. I really repeat this in every video. I will repeat this because I really feel like we have a chance. We had a chance if at all we brought in a player, especially to play into that midfield position, because Nemanja Matic, leave alone that he can only play, he used to be playing 1 game per season, per week. But this time round, whenever he reaches the 50th minute, 60th minute, he looks worn out. You get? So he's not a player really going to come out and say, all right, I'm really putting my hope onto him, he'll come up and do the needful. No, when it hits the 60th minute, he has burned out and there is nothing he's going to do for you. So he looks naked all the time. So I really feel like that's the problem I'm having, but we would have really had a very good chance, because when you have Ronaldo, sorry, when you have Ronaldo, one of the best goal scorers in the world history, you have Varane, you have Pogba, you have Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, Sancho, you get, that team can face any team. But with us not having a central defensive midfielder ready to cover up our defense and maybe ignite some of our runs, I really feel like it becomes hard for United to come in and do the needful in there. So that's what we had for you today. You can as well go into the comment section and tell me what you think about Manchester United risking out their season, and we wait and see what comes from you guys here onto the Manchester United Matters channel. I'll sign out for now. See you later.